Hello Willikins and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about children from early stages to toddler, and these are just some things that have come to mind, and I've written them down so I don't get off topic, because sometimes I can do that. So I'm going to kind of go through this with you and hopefully you enjoy. So what am I going to be talking about? So there are going to be times where young children will go through certain things, and we have to realize that they are just children. They don't know everything, okay? They're fresh to the world and they're learning and they're figuring things out. And sometimes parents put a lot of stress on a child unintentionally because they want them to know better or to automatically know something when they don't. So that's some of it, and then there's more as well, but I'm going to get through some of this stuff and talk to you about it. So it's called Instead of This, Say That. So for the first one, see through your child's eyes. So I know sometimes that can be hard. I get it. And sometimes we say things like, don't worry about it, it's just a bump. Or sometimes I hear that in a more aggressive tone, but sometimes I hear it in just the tone that I did, which is denying. There's another form of it, which is judging, and that is, you're always taking toys away from other children. Blaming or lecturing, you shouldn't have, ... What you should do, ... So what are things that we can do instead? See the situation from their perspective and acknowledge their feelings. So for the first example, was that a shock? A bump can hurt. Just kind of like seeing it from their side. Okay, maybe something hit them or something while they were playing, or another child was playing with a toy and bumped them or something. Was that a shock? A bump can hurt. Acknowledging that for them. And then the next would be translating for them. So it sounds like you would like to have a turn when they are finished with the toy. So that way they understand what they're feeling too, and seeing it from their perspective as well. So they're playing along, and then, maybe now they want to turn with a toy that somebody else has. Okay, I understand. It sounds like you would like to have a turn with that toy when they are all finished. So that way they understand taking turns, waiting until they get to play with the item. Seek to understand by guessing how they feel is another good option. Are you telling me ... It looks like you ... Are you feeling ... It seems like ... So with those, because they don't really know what emotions are yet. They're still learning that. So we can kind of try to guess what they're feeling. Like if somebody is taking a while with a toy, maybe they're annoyed or frustrated. So we can pronounce that for them, let them know how they're feeling, and so therefore they know that feeling with the situation, which helps them learn what feelings are. Because a lot of the time, people don't know what feelings are. For instance, I had issues with that growing up, and even up until my early 20s. It's something that wasn't really taught well in my family. And to like know exactly how you're feeling, like okay, I'm stressed, and know what stress means in that situation. So it's good to start off young, knowing and labeling the emotion so that way they know how they're feeling. The next category is building independence. So, instead of this, two categories. Telling them what not to do. Don't drop the glass. Avoid always taking the lead. Let's go take a look at the puzzles. So, say this. Tell them how to have success. Use two hands instead of don't drop the glass. Follow the child. Say nothing, wait to see what they choose. So that way you're not the one that's always thinking of things to do. And this also helps them build independence. That's why it's under the category. So if they go to their bookshelf and they pick out a book, and maybe they're reading it, or they want you to read it, or play a game with it or something, they are choosing what to do. They are building their independence that way. And when they are doing things around the house, we shouldn't be cautious about it. We should encourage them. So if they are carrying a small glass with them, we can say, use two hands, so that way they know to be careful and to hold it and have that independence that, they can do something that the older people can do. And it gives them excitement. Help our child love learning. So instead of correcting, no, it's an elephant. We can teach by teaching. You wanted to show me the rhinoceros, then note to teach the elephant another time. So that way it's a way of being like, okay, we need to spend a little bit more time on this, but we'll do it at a later time, so that way, there's no friction there, because we want them to enjoy learning. So we'll come back to it later. But in this moment, okay, I see you wanted to show me the rhinoceros, and they thought it was an elephant. They're still learning, and that's good. We want them to love learning, especially on their own. So, okay, we'll put this to the side and we'll learn it another time. Cultivate curiosity, giving the answers to all the questions. The sky is blue because blah 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 blah. So, encourage them to find out. Let's find out together. Or if you don't know, I don't know. Let's find out together. Let's see what the answer is. So you're encouraging them to find out what it is that they want to know, which is sparking curiosity, which is sparking on their own learning. So much better. And it's getting them excited because they don't know the answer, so they're going to find out. And there's many resources to find out what it is that they want to know. Help our child access for themselves. Help our child assess for themselves, or cultivate motivation. So instead of praising, good job, good boy, good girl, give feedback to describe the effort. You put all the trucks in the basket. Sum it up with a word. Now that's what I call being resourceful. Describe how we feel. It's a pleasure to walk into a tidy room. With these, and I know that sometimes that can be really hard, because the first thing we think of is, oh, good job, good boy, good girl. Like, those easy little short phrases, instead of walking through what it is that they did. So we can better describe what they did and put it into a more cheery way of, we're proud of them because of this, but we're putting forth what it is that they're doing and being excited about it. You put all the trucks in the basket. Awesome. Something like that. So that way it's acknowledging they're doing something you like. Okay. Sharing. Instead of forcing them to share, give them a turn now. We can allow them to finish and share by taking turns. So this kind of goes with the other one I said before. It looks like they're playing with it right now. It will be available soon. So instead of, and I've seen this a lot, somebody will interject the children playing and take the toy away from another child and give it to the child that wants it. What that is teaching that child that wants the toy is, I can take toys away from other people. I can take things away from other people, even though they still want it. Still want to play with the toy or whatever it is. And that's just not right, right? We wouldn't want to be looking at a dress that we really like in the store, and then all of a sudden a woman takes it away and buys it. We wouldn't want that. We would be upset. So instead, what we can do is look at the situation and just kind of acknowledge, okay, I see you want that toy, but we have to wait our turn. They'll be done shortly. And children, a lot of the time, once they've mastered a toy, they'll move on. So it could be, a couple of minutes later, and they're done playing with the toy. So it's also teaching patience, and that's a really good habit to have. Accept our child for who they are. Dismissing their anger or big feelings. It's just a spoon, don't be silly. Or, there's so many examples you can give for that one. And instead, acknowledge and allow all feelings. It looks like you're upset that your spoon isn't available. So, it's teaching them, like, sometimes things are, like, for instance, that example, the spoon, maybe it's dirty, or maybe it's in the dishwasher, and it's not available. We can see it from their perspective. That's really upsetting that your spoon is in the dishwasher. Would you like to use one of these two spoons, and give them an option so it still feels like they get to choose? Or Or, there's other ways to handle that situation in a calm and healthy manner. Remind them of house or ground rule. So, shouting, "No fighting!" Instead, have a few house rules. I can't let you hurt them. Use your words to tell them what you would like. So, we're taking away the physical aspect and putting in words instead. So, if somebody's, like if you have two children or your child is playing with a friend or something and they start fighting, let's not use our hands or feet. Let's use our words. How are we feeling? Are we upset? Are we angry? And why are we angry or upset? Did they take that toy away, or what did they do to hurt your feelings? And allow the other child to express how they feel as well, so that way they can understand the situation and then they can come up with a solution to what happened instead of the parent, because you're wanting them to have the independence and helping them understand cause and effect and solving problems. Cultivate cooperation. Saying no. Don't touch the baby. Instead, use positive language. We are gentle with the baby. Getting involved in the problem. So, kind of just what I just said, but this one's a little different. "You're driving me crazy. Why don't you get dressed? We need to leave." Find ways to solve the problem. And this is just like child on parent situation. How can we find a way to solve the problem? Let's make a checklist of all the things we need to do in the morning. So that way they understand, okay, we need to do all of these steps in order to leave the house, or in order to brush our teeth, or in order to get to bed, we need to do these things. Because it's easy for a child to have a routine. When there's a routine in the house and with the child, it's easier for them, so they're not like, okay, what's going to happen next? Which can lead to other things later on. Harder to get out of the house, harder to do things, and so on and so forth. So when you establish something every day, and it's a pattern, then they know what's going to happen next. And it makes it easier for them. Now, I understand sometimes we want to go on a family trip, and that's awesome. You can still do that and still have a routine. Just so that way it's not totally like, okay, what's happening? And, so they have some sense of control. Getting frustrated. Why don't you listen to me? It's bath time. Find ways to involve the child. Would you like to hop to the bath like a rabbit, or walk sideways on all fours like a crab? Making it more fun and inviting for them. Maybe it's not their favorite thing to do, take a bath. We can find fun ways to do it. So, like that example, we can hop like a bunny to get into the tub, or we can crawl on all fours like a crab and make it more enjoyable, make that event more enjoyable for them. Nagging or shouting. How many times do I have to ask you to put on your shoes? So use one word, shoes, and leave it at that. And repeating ourselves. Don't go near the oven again. Write a note. The sign says it's hot. So the sign is what's telling us what we can do and what we can't do. So, and we don't need a lot of those. The oven is a good example because it can get really hot. and we don't want them to burn their little fingers. So what we can do, place a note, caution, it's hot. We can say, oh, right there it says, caution, it's hot. So we shouldn't touch it. Accusing, why don't you ever put away your toys when you're finished? Show them. It goes here while tapping the shelf. So that way they know, okay, I have to pick things up after I'm done playing with them. And then you can say, something along the lines of, it's a pleasure to walk into a tidy room or a clean room after they do the putting away of the toy. Help our child be responsible. So instead of threatening, punishing, bribing, or timeout, if you do that again, if you come now, I'll give you a sticker. Or go to timeout and think about what you just did, or what you've done. We can do instead, help them calm down and then make amends. You look upset. Would you like a cuddle? Would you like to go to the calm place and calm down? Then, after they've calmed down, our friend is crying. How can we make it up to them? So it's teaching them to not react, but respond instead. Because I know there's situations where we get heated in the moment and we can get frustrated and mad, and that's when hurtful words are said. So it's better to calm down, go to a place where you can. If the room is not able to be a place where you can be to be calm, go to a place where you can be calm, and then come back to the situation to find solutions. Communicate limits. Avoid conflict, being very strict or setting a bad example. They are young to know what they are doing. They are too young to know what they are doing. If they bite me again, I'll bite you and let you see if you like it. Instead, set a clear and kind limit. I can't let you hit, throw, bite me. I'm going to put you down. If you need to bite, you can bite on this apple. So that way you're redirecting them in a more positive way. Be neutral in sibling and other children disputes. Instead of trying to decide who is right and wrong, what happened here, who did it, leave them to solve the problem. I see two kids who want the same toy. I know we can come up with a solution that both of you are happy with. So kind of like what I said before. And it's good to not put your input in those situations, like, oh, you're the one that's wrong and you're the one that's right. No. Let's come up with a solution. What can we do to make this a better outcome than what it is right now? So that way both parties are content with the results. Avoid using roles and labels. So instead of putting a child in a role or using labels like they are the shy one or the clever one, we can give them another view of themselves. I noticed that you asked for help all by yourself, which could be hard for somebody who is shy. So we're redirecting it into a more positive way, so that way they don't feel down or upset about it. Because, who wants to be known as the shy one or the class clown, or, whatever label people give out. We don't like it, you know? We don't want to be labeled as something like that. So instead, what we can do is bring out a characteristic or an example of what they're doing that's opposite of that. So you're asking for help all by yourself. You know, you're putting away things, or you're putting your toys away in the basket, and you know, you're giving them a sense of they are good in themselves. Communicate with family and other caregivers. So instead of getting angry with a family member, why are you shouting at them? Translate for them. It sounds like blank would like you to ... So sometimes when we have family members that come over, maybe they don't know exactly how we're doing things around the house in terms of teaching our child to grow and learn and how to be, because they were taught something different growing up, or taught in a different way than what we are doing. So what we can do is, instead of getting upset, we can kind of help them, maybe guide them. Model grace and curiosity. Instead of blaming others, you should have told me earlier. Take responsibility. What I should have said is, and apologize sincerely. Now, that last part, apologizing sincerely, is a really good one. And that's when, usually, if it's a heated situation, we need to go to our calm place and then come back, and then we're able to apologize sincerely. When we're in a heated situation, right away, we're not going to apologize sincerely. It's going to be a fake apology. So we take time, calm down, come up with a solution, or communicate, or whatever the situation calls for, and then, if need be, apologize sincerely. Alright, that is all of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video. Sorry it's very long. I hope you enjoyed. Please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one.